The live-action Little Mermaid movie has been harshly scrutinized because with each live-action reboot there are massive problems and people are sick of seeing their childhood favorites taken and modernized. But now Disney has Halle Bailey, Ariel's actress, damage controlling, calling any critics of this film racist trolls. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or supporter via YouTube memberships. So this is a new Variety article. Halle Bailey ignores IST Little Mermaid trolls. As a black person, you expect it, and it's not a shock anymore. Now, I've had to talk about this movie quite a few times on the channel now because with every single teaser and trailer that releases, they are getting absolutely ratioed. Hundreds of thousands to millions of dislikes have been left on these trailers. And it's not because of racism, it's because this movie looks like crap. It says, though, another trailer for the live-action Little Mermaid dropped on February 15th, which meant the star Halle Bailey had to deal with another round of racist trolls using social media to complain about a black actor taking on the role of Princess Ariel. Now, this was a criticism a lot of people had initially because, yes, they did ultimately decide to race swap Ariel, but at this point, I have so many other problems with this film. It's like one of the least of my concerns. The sea looks boring, it looks bland, and when you're comparing this movie to something like Avatar: The Way of Water, which just recently came out, they look like two completely different films. Avatar looks exciting and it looks bright and there's all these different kind of, rich colors, and Little Mermaid just looks so dark and dull and dreary, and that is just not what you would expect from a Disney movie about a princess. It also seems like they picked some interesting choices for the cast. We haven't seen the whole cast yet, but for me, hearing that Melissa McCarthy is Ursula is just a giant negative. I do not like Melissa McCarthy, and I just do not see her playing this character. I think she's going to do a terrible job, and it's going to make this movie feel even more cheesy than it already does, but only time will tell. It says, though, it's hardly the first time she has had to tune out IST backlash. Both her casting announcement in 2019 and the film's first trailer last year sent trolls into a tizzy online. As a black person, you just expect it, and it's not really a shock anymore. When Chloe and I first signed to Parkwood, Beyonce was always like, I never read my comments, don't ever read the comments. Honestly, when the teaser came out, I was at D23 Expo and I was so happy. I didn't see any of that negativity. Now, of course, they're just trying to write it all off as racist backlash. It's only trolls that are criticizing this film and the trailers, and trolls are the only ones who are leaving dislikes on, all of the content basically surrounding this film. And while there are always a few bad apples in every bunch, there are definitely people out there who are, I'm sure, leaving dislikes because they simply do not like this actress and, the fact that she was cast as this character. There are many more problems, and there are millions of people who are leaving dislikes because the movie doesn't look good. You are not telling me on the newest trailer that all 360,000 dislikes are racists. That is just not the case. People simply do not like the way that this movie looks. 5 months ago, they posted the original teaser trailer. It's got 27 million views, 1.2 million likes, and 3.4 million dislikes. You are not telling me that all 3.4 million of those dislikes are racists. People simply do not like the way that this film looks, and of course, Disney doesn't actually want people talking about this. The comments are turned off on this trailer, and on their newest trailer from only 8 days ago, they also turned the comments off because they don't want people actually discussing this film and discussing their problems with it. But this also isn't really new for Disney actresses. Of course, I talked about this last year when it happened, but Obi-Wan Kenobi's actress, Moses Ingram, had come out and basically said that, Lucasfilm prepped her against the racist backlash to her Obi-Wan Kenobi character. This is a way that they are damage controlling. Lucasfilm, which of course owned by Disney, has been prepping these actresses of color for any kind of backlash, basically saying if you face any backlash, it's because of racists and you shouldn't listen to them because you're a great actress. This is unfortunately not really new. We have seen this with now two, main and important actresses in these series, and it's not going to stop. They come out and basically attack racist trolls months before content even releases, so that when it releases and it actually fails or it doesn't do good and people are criticizing other elements of the show or movie, they can just say, well, it's those same trolls we talked about months ago. Moses Ingram last year had said it was something that Lucasfilm actually got in front of and said, this is a thing that unfortunately likely will happen, but we are here to help you so you can let us know if it happens. She also said that the director had been putting the proper systems in place so I feel safe as we do the work. Of course, there are always pockets of hate, but I have no problems with the block buttons, and Halle Bailey is now also pulling out these same statements. I know people are like, it's not about race, but now that I'm her, people don't understand that when you're Black, there's this whole other community. It's so important for us to see ourselves. A lot of people have simply said they wish that this actress had gotten cast in an original film. Maybe they had made another, Disney princess who happened to be a Black woman. I know that there is already one, but people were saying, why don't you just make another? Why don't you just try to, make new content instead of replacing characters that already exist? But of course, these individuals don't want to hear that. They just want to hear that they are getting roles and that they are being put in the spotlight, and that's all that they really care about. But people have criticized this film for a bevy of reasons. I mean, it's not just because of the way that this actress looks, and of course, they just want to play it off as that's the only problem here is racism, when that is definitely not the case. But yeah, as you saw, millions of people are fighting back against this film. Millions of people are not happy with the content that they have seen so far, and I think as we get closer to the release of this film, people are only going to get louder, and, people are only going to voice their displeasure even more. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.